It's great being young. Life is full of dreams and possibilities. Young people don't just have dreams, we expect. We expect life to open up to us and that we'll end up being doctors, pastors, parents with lots of kids, or even entrepreneurs with lots of employees. But 2020 showed even young people that sometimes even dreams can die. But even the pandemic and having to take classes online wasn't enough to slow me down too much. I expected things to eventually get back to normal. They had to. I had plans. I have a great story to tell, but I never expected my story to end this way.
Okay everyone, last time we talked about God's will in your life. And today I have a special surprise for you because there are some officers who are here from the ECD. That stands for the East Central Africa Division. They're here to help you with your projects and God's calling in your life. Pastor Uguri, I see you're here. Now we've already prayed, so the floor is all yours to take it away.
There is an old African proverb which says that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, then go together. The Bible promises that God is with believers who serve God in unity. And I want to tell you, when we applied this principle to God's work in ECD, the results were explosive. It was part of the General Conference's plan for what is called Total Member Involvement, or TMI. Thousands of volunteer speakers, singers, and others came from across our division and around the world to declare the three angels' messages. That first experience showed us that God is ready to move very fast to gather a harvest. But we could not have believed how far we would go together with God until after we saw more than 110,000 people baptized through that event. Using this TMI approach, we held both large evangelistic campaigns and large mission celebrations that we call mission extravaganzas in every union over the last 5 years. Wherever one was held, volunteers, pastors, and leaders from across the division worked together to win souls in that place.
Serving God through large campaigns and events is an important part of TMI in ECD. But TMI also happens when on a daily basis, when millions of believers fully give their time, their gifts, and their lives in service to God. I'd like to share my screen and show you how God planted the seeds of TMI in 5 different stories here in ECD.
Sometimes God uses actual seeds to plant his purposes in people's lives. Mama Miambe listened carefully as the pastor called on the congregation to get involved in the upcoming TMI campaign at her church. She wanted to help, but she didn't know how she could get involved. But God planted in her heart the desire to pray for souls as she tended to her small vegetable garden each day. As she prayed, Mama Miambe planted in her garden and listened to sermons on Adventist World Radio. For Professor Philip Rono and his wife Calvin, God's seed planting process began with a simple call for Philip to leave his prestigious position as an academic chair at the University of Nairobi to win souls for God's harvest. Over time, the calling only became stronger, so Philip resigned his position, exchanging the classroom for the seed of a small home-based prayer meeting with just 5 people. When he heard the calling of God to follow Jesus, Abraham was baptized. He didn't realize it at first, but God was planting a seed of testimony in Abraham's life that would test him like the Abraham of old. As a successful Maasai cattle farmer, Abraham had over 1,000 cattle in his herd. Even though it was unheard of for a Maasai to give away so many cattle, Abraham made the decision to return a tithe to be given to the Lord. God's seeds come in all sizes, and so do the people whose lives He plants them in. Even though they were young, the seeds that God planted in the hearts of 13-year-old Robel Jacob and his friend Amran Abraham gave them a desire to be part of their church's total member involvement efforts. As they prayed that God would use them to bring a harvest, God led them to join a total children's involvement campaign as evangelist speakers in Ethiopia's upcoming TMI evangelistic effort. Although they did not know how God would accomplish such an enormous project, the leadership of ECD allowed God to plant the seed in their hearts to build a new medical school to meet the need for doctors in the mission field. They knew that the health message is the right arm of the gospel, but they knew that God was calling them to develop missionary doctors within the division who would faithfully deliver the Adventist health message while also serving as world-class physicians. The leaders knew that if God was planting the seeds of this great dream, then He would also bring forth the harvest.
Getting involved in serving is how God plants seeds in your life, just like He has been doing in ECD. As a treasurer of this division, I like to think of seeds as investments. And to make any investment grow, it must be cared for and nurtured. Let us see how the people from those 5 stories developed roots and were nurtured in their experience with Christ.
While others in their gardens may have been praying for vegetables, Mama Miambe kept on returning to her garden, listening to her sermons on the radio and waiting for a harvest. She knew that there was something that God would give her to do for Him, and she refused to give up until God showed her how she could help bring people to Christ. As she tended the garden, the seeds of God's harvest were being watered with prayer. For Professor and Calvin Rono, nurturing the seeds of God's mission involved more than just leaving behind the life they had known before. Professor Rono used his gift for research to deeply investigate Bible prophecy, while his wife Calvin developed an expertise in sharing the health message. God encouraged them by slowly adding people to their Bible study, including one non-Adventist man who wanted to know if he could join them for prayer. Abraham nurtured the seed of his faith by taking immediate action, counting out over 100 cattle worth over $30,000 to be returned to God through the church. Despite the criticism and doubts he faced from his community about his decision, Abraham watered the seeds of his decision with faith. The church community also nurtured the seeds of Abraham's conviction by visiting and praying that he would be blessed richly for his faithfulness. Amran and her friend Robel were excited about getting a chance to serve God, and they didn't take the opportunity lightly. They had prayed that God would use them, and they knew that now it was time for them to nurture the seeds of opportunity. They studied their presentations regularly with their families and prayed for strength and guidance in preparation for God to use them. After planting the seed of such a grand vision in their hearts, the ECD leadership knew that only God could nurture the seeds to bring forth a harvest. The first blessing they received from God was speedy approval and encouragement as they consulted with leaders from the General Conference to build the new medical school. God continued to nurture the seeds of their vision to build this world-class, state-of-the-art medical school and teaching hospital by showing them how to use the model of TMI to raise support for it. From across the division, thousands of church members gave special offerings, church employees donated a portion of their salaries, and unions made regular contributions to fertilize the seed that God had planted. But the miraculous harvest that God plants can never grow simply by human effort. The ECD family knew that in order to go far with this vision, they would have to unite together in prayer in order to see this dream bear fruit.
It's not always easy to nurture God's seeds of faith in your life. It means trusting Him, trusting that He's doing something special in your life, even when you cannot see the results yet.
Our theme in ECD for the last quinquennium was Mission Priority. It's harvest time. God promises to finish whatever we allow Him to start in our lives, so we know that those investments will always result in a great harvest. Let us look to see how this turned out in our 5 stories.
Mama Miambe knew that she had planted and watered the seeds of God's harvest with prayer. And as she waited, she could not have known how God was already at work to bring in a spiritual harvest of her own. In the bar next to her garden that seemed to always be busy each day as she tended her garden and prayed, the owner overheard the woman's sermons and prayers. When she went home, he tuned in to the Adventist World Radio station on his own radio and invited his customers to listen in as well. Before long, along with several of his customers, the bar owner approached Mama Miambe and asked her how they could learn to follow Christ. Today, instead of serving alcoholic spirits, the bar has been converted to a church, serving the community through the Spirit of God and His Word. When the Ronos prepared to welcome their visitor to their Bible study, they were surprised to learn that he was a pastor from a Sunday-keeping church. He brought with him more than 30 other pastors to attend the meeting. They were so impressed with the study of prophecy combined with a health message and prayer that 22 of them were baptized and became members of the Adventist Church. Today, there are more than 700 people regularly attending the prayer meeting, and they have started an intensive Bible College Institute where more than 60 Sunday pastors and even whole congregations have accepted present truth in the three angels' messages. Abraham's friends tried to tell him that there was no way he could be successful as a cattle rancher if he kept giving his cattle away. They also thought that cows almost never gave birth to twins, but they had to begin rethinking both ideas when one of Abraham's cows gave birth to a set of twins. And after they heard that it had happened not only a second, third, and fourth time, but that his cows were now regularly giving birth to twins, they were convinced that they had been wrong about Abraham's God. Today, Abraham still faithfully returns a tithe from his growing herd of cattle, and his friends have even joined him in honoring God by returning a tenth of their cows to God as well. God blessed the faith of young Amran and her friend Rubel. Through their series, 20 souls were won to Christ, and God has given them an ongoing ministry of speaking and evangelism in Ethiopia and around the division. God also provided for the Adventist School of Medicine of East Central Africa. When the school was inaugurated in 2019, the President of the nation, His Excellency Paul Kagame, was so moved by the quality and excellence of the school and by God that he offered to give a teaching hospital to the school. Today, that seed has begun producing a harvest. A fully equipped medical school and teaching hospital now stand where just 5 years earlier, there were only seeds being planted in the hearts of men. At the beginning of 2022, 79 students were enrolled despite the challenges of the pandemic. With man, it is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
The seeds God is planting for the harvest come in many different shapes and sizes. No matter what God plans for you, just nurture it by trusting Him and leave it to God to deliver every good thing that He has planned for your life. Every day, my friends, there are people who die before they have ever really lived. They never learned to trust God by giving their lives to Him as a seed to be used in His mission. And it will really be my joy to invite you even into the baptism waters, because that is where this whole matter leads to, by letting God use your life as a seed for His harvest.
Of all the things I never expected God to plant my life as a seed for His mission. That's TMI here in ECD. I'm so thankful that someone prayed for me to go out into the harvest. And you know what? If you're watching this, somebody is praying for you. There's a big world out there waiting to see what blessings will come when God starts harvesting His seeds from your life. But don't worry, you don't have to go alone. Come with me and millions of us from the ECD family. Together, I know we'll go far. All you have to do is say, I will go.